ukipenda.
Honorable Professor.
It's called Honorable Professor. Those are all my nicknames. People, the public,
Professor.
Has given me, and I cannot deny those names. I have to also own them.
Many thanks for keeping it here at TEKA'S show. I'm your host, Ian Teka. Today, in the panel we have Mr. Machera Emmanuel. But before he introduces himself, if this is your first time here and you have not subscribed, this will be your best time to click that button so that you can be updated whenever we post our videos. Once again, you can give a like for the video, you can comment. We really love your feedback. Let us know who to bring next. Karibu sana kwenye show, Mr. Machera. Feel welcome. Thank you so much for getting time for us.
Thank you.
Karibu sana.
It's an honor.
No problem. Yes, Mr. Emmanuel Machera. Who are you? Who are you?
My name, as you have stated, is Machar Emmanuel Machera. Those are my three names.
Okay.
And the public also has given me several names. Some call me Professor, and I cannot deny those names because the public has its mandate.
Why do you think the public calls you Professor?
They call me Professor for several reasons.
Okay.
First of all, I'm a hard-working teacher. By the way, I'm an English teacher. It's my third year in Machakos University.
Okay.
And because of my hard working and also aiming at that capacity of taking a PhD in few years to come, and that's why they decided to give me that name.
Okay.
And I've accepted that name. I'm honored.
So I'm aware you are holding political aspirations at Machakos University.
Yes.
What do you want to do at Machakos University?
Okay. For Machakos University, I have so great ambitions. And I feel that once I get this chance, I'll be able to serve the comrades at a very high capacity because, first of all, we need to empower the comrades.
Before you continue, I asked, what do you want to do for Machakos University? What are your aspirations? What do you want to do?
For Machakos University as a whole, as a university, we have to look at the bigger picture. Because when you look back at the year that Machakos University was established, and the other universities such as the University of Eldoret and Bianga University, you cannot compare them at this level. Machakos University is still behind, while Eldoret University and University of Bianga are still thriving. And this is the reason why I feel like we need to do something about Machakos University.
Why are you saying Machakos University is still lower according to your opinion?
According to my opinion, I would call it in terms of maybe leadership. Because with all leadership, everything thrives. Because you can see even the nation that have developed, even the Bible clearly said that the leadership of a certain country tells all. If a country wants to develop in terms of a structure, also economically, they have to have a good leadership in positions, and this means good policies have to implement it.
So are you talking of the school leadership, or you're talking of the student leadership?
The student leadership also plays a very important role.
Yes.
Of course, because some policies have to be pushed. Because majority, this university does not belong to the administrations. It belongs to us because at the end of the day, we own this university. The coming days, we also have our children, and also they will need to come at Machakos University. So the student leadership plays a very important role into pushing policies that are going to uplift the university as a whole. Because
I'm aware we have a current leadership, talking of the student leadership. Do you think they are going a mess or they are doing a good thing? What is your opinion on that?
It depends. It depends on which perspective you are viewing their leadership. Because I believe this regime had its manifesto when it comes to power. The thing we should be asking ourselves is, have they managed to accomplish their policies since they are now coming to an end of their tenure? Have they accomplished their promises that they promised to the people? That if they haven't promised, they haven't fulfilled their promise, then there is a miss.
They had their manifestos, and I'm sure you made a follow-up on them. According to you, you being a political aspirant, in the coming elections of the school politics and leadership. Do you think they are doing a great job, that it is commendable, or they are doing a freaky job?
To me, I will view this that question in this perspective, because I'm not the only one at Machakos University. The comrades are also there. So I will leave this question to the comrades to decide. But we can do 1 through 3 things in terms of rating between the 3 regimes, because we had the Jerry regime, and of course we have the Ian Rock regime, and we're having a Yogo regime. So can we now differentiate the 3 and see where are we moving ahead, or we are moving backward? So this question of how they are performed, I'm not going to dwell in that perspective, because people do things in a different way. So this question should be asked from the comrades themselves. Let the comrades themselves answer this question. Have they felt the current government? Has the current government fulfilled their promises? Their manifesto, has it been done? So if it has not been done, then automatically you know the answer.
So you want to be you are an aspirant.
Of course.
You want to become a leader.
Of course.
Are you a leader, Mr. Machari?
I am a leader, Mr. Machera.
Sorry for that. Machera.
I am a leader, of course, and of course I started way back in primary school. I was the president at my primary school. It's called Bingut Primary School. Where
how was that leadership like?
The leadership was amazing, and that was one thing that I'm grateful for, that chance that I was given at my primary school. It was so small, but I'm grateful, because through that post I was able to implement some policies that really thrived at school. And of course we even left a history that no any other class has ever performed like the way we did in my year. In terms of this is in terms of cleanness. We had that issue in terms of children missing out school because of vomiting, diarrhea, because of cleanness. I came with policies that ensure that we are going to ensure that everybody is practicing cleanness as a whole, as a school, and it was good. In terms of academically awareness, we also did the same, and I can testify, my class performed greatly since the establishment of that school in 1972. You can imagine, this is through my leadership, and I'm grateful.
Okay, that's good of you. So talking of the aspiration, what do you want to become specifically? What are your political aspirations?
Specifically, I want to one day become the president of this Republic of Kenya.
No. Before we get to there, we're talking of
inspiration.
At Machakos University.
Oh, Machakos University.
Yes.
At Machakos University, for this time around in time, I want to vie for the position of Secretary General.
Okay. Why Secretary General, not the President, not Deputy President?
For Secretary General, because the key role that the Secretary General plays in the government for now.
Yes.
But in few years to come, I'll be thinking about running for the president in Machakos University, because I still have time. That's why I do not want to jump into things, because I'm still also learning. But I feel this time around I should go for the Secretary General, so that I can work with the comrades in hand, because the government, mostly the Secretary General is the government. If you have a narrow-minded Secretary General, then that government is doomed. Yes.
So talking of the politics, I'm aware before you become a Secretary General, you have to go through some voting, some elections.
Yes.
You being a normal comrade as per now, what are your future plans? How are you going to maneuver through the elections? Who is going to ensure that has funded your campaigns?
In terms of maneuvering and of course funding, I am a comrade, and I'm beseeching the comrades that are watching even this video that they are my light. They are the ones that I'm looking forward to, and I believe the comrades will fund me. Okay, because I have also a history record that I'm a person of integrity, and in this system, remember, the delegates are the ones that are voting. So I believe the comrades will vote in delegates that they know what it takes to lead as a situation.
Okay, so as a leader, what's the mantra that keeps you going, that keeps you motivated every day when you wake up in the morning as a leader?
Yeah, what keeps me moving each day is that I want to bring a change. I want to bring a legacy. That's what keeps moving. That one day, one time, someone will look at something and say, it's because of this particular person that I'm here.
Do you have a certain principle that governs your life to ensure that each and every day you are motivated and ensuring that you have a bright future?
Of course. I came from far.
Yes.
I just sometimes reflect from where I came from. And I talk to myself that God has a reason. And of course, He has good plans for me to move further and further. So my history motivates me. Because it has taken me a lot of time and a lot of sacrifices from other people to be here.
So, Mr. Machera, sorry for that name.
Yeah, I know.
I know. So, basing on the past histories, we have had intelligent young men like you.
Yes.
And majority get into office and they are not impactful at the end of the day.
Yes.
So what is really prompting you to become a leader? Is it that you just wanted a position of power, or you actually had this agenda, a specific one, especially you being a Secretary General to be? Do you have a specific agenda?
My agenda is it's not about a position. It's not about a position because I have served in a certain capacity before. Okay, I've told you in primary school I also served, in also my high school I also passed, and also in my community particularly I'm the Secretary General in the MKSU, the Korea in Machakos University Korea Student Association. I'm the Secretary. I'm doing wonders. You can testify. They can also testify that I'm a performer. I'm not just here for the sake of the seat, because I've told you in the future I also need to run for the event of the president of this country. So people also look at my records, and I'm a person of integrity. No one can come in public to claim that I have stolen public funds. So I'm a man of my word, and of course I'm here to work for the comrades.
So let's talk about education system.
Yes.
It is coming to my realization that the education system as per now is really degrading. Nowadays, no one wants to be left out of the university. Parents are actually giving up luxury life to ensure that their children go to universities. But however, when you hear of university, we have strikes all over, we have looting, deaths, drug abuse, let's talk of abortions. At the end of the day, after the universities, we again hear of the unemployment that is awaiting after university. Yes. Is there anything that is good about university?
Yeah, to me, I think university is a good thing. And of course, we should not take it lightly because we can see the environment, the world of today. Without proper education, then you will not maneuver in life. Though people claim that school is a waste of time, but that's not really the case. Of course, in life you have to have some challenges. Okay.
Yeah.
In the university, you have talked about the abortion, right? That calls for a personal decision, because even the Bible itself condemns that you should not kill. So any individual that takes that steps, of course, he has sinned against the world itself and of course God Himself. So it's a personal decision. Not only comrades are participating in the abortion, I believe even grown-ups outside the university. Okay, so that's a personal decision.
So Mr. Machar,
yes.
Let's be practical here.
Yes.
Is the education system right now degrading or upgrading as per your idea?
As per the country today,
yes.
I wouldn't take the education is taken rightly. For this
matter,
matter,
university
education, the government is the one that is maybe bringing out some staff that are drawing back this education system, but education is a constitutional right for every person, because we are not here just to get jobs. We are here to get knowledge that will enable us to create opportunities and to create jobs opportunity for us and for the rest of the world. So we are here not only to be employed but to also employ others. So let us have this mentality that we are not being educated to be employed. We are being educated, and I think that's the main function of a university.
Yes.
You are here to create job opportunity. You maneuver around, come with researchers, and employ other people. Okay? So the problem we have with the university, particularly, is the government and of course the looting. because you can see how the government is doing away with this education system in terms of funding. Okay, people have been crying, the university because they don't have the money, but the government has the money, because we are hearing day in, day out, someone has stolen some bill of money. Some bill of money cannot be traced, whereas they're being defunding the university. So we are having the issue with the government, particularly the Kenya Kwanza government.
Okay, so Prof, before you continue,
yes,
I can see you're becoming defensive, but I want you now to give me a greater picture of how a university is like. How are students behaving after school? Are they doing so well out here? Do you have people that are really working so hard? Let me talk of the graduates. Are they competent enough while at work after school? Just give us a good picture.
According to my opinion, of course, I've come across to different people, because I've worked in different institutions, in different companies. They really work. The problem we're having is the government. The government is the problem here, is the year time. Okay? You cannot compare someone who has done a degree to that person of a diploma. Those are very different. I hear people comparing that, you know, these people taking a degree, they're joyrider. That's not the case, because it takes a lot of time for one to graduate. It takes a lot of hard work for one to graduate. It's not a walk in the park. So the people that are now, you know, comparing and seeing like you know, a degree, just a piece of paper, that's not the case. Because if you ask the same person, can you print that paper? Give me that degree. Will he get it? Unless you have the 4 years training. So the problem is the government, because the government has to come with the policies that are able not to observe. So once you're out of the system, you're now observing the government sector. If you're not unable to now create job, because we have different abilities.
I've been interacting with student leaders across the universities.
Yes.
And majority are saying the teacher, let me talk of lecturers, ratio to the students is now becoming an issue, now becoming a concern. What of your university, Machakos University? Is that an issue that is causing degradation of education?
At Machakos University, I have not experienced such kind of a stuff, because it is my third year around here, and I've never come across such thing that we're having some issue with the lecturer, because we have never missed any lecture because of some sort with the manpower in terms of teaching. Well, the only problem that we have invested in Machakos University is the building. I mean the classes. Sometimes we have the high number of students, then the classroom are fewer. That's the only problem that we're having. Remember, the other building is yet to be completed. That's the only challenge. But in terms of the lecturers, I think we are good to go. And if they will need to also add some, I think the university is at a good capacity to add some manpower.
Okay, Emmanuel, we have activists against engineering in Kenya.
Yes.
And people are really against engineering. The other day, I've seen Machakos University and other universities across the country admitting first-year students. Majority are going for engineering, claiming it's a very good course. What is your opinion on that? Is engineering working in Kenya?
Engineering in Kenya is not really working, because again the problem is the government.
You keep mentioning the government.
I'll mention the government because we elected this government to serve the people.
Yeah.
The government has the power stipulated in the constitution to serve the people. So we are having the problem where the government is devaluing the local man, the local engineer in Kenya, and going for the German engineering, for the Chinese engineering, who sometimes offer these services at a very high price. So the problem is the government. Why are we having an engineering in Kenya who has, you know, graduated, is fit to do certain tasks that are going for a China person? So the problem is the government.
So Emmanuel, this is our government.
Yes.
President William Ruto is our president.
Yes.
In this regime, can you advise a student, a first-year student, to go for an engineering course?
I will advise for that particular student to go, because if you have a dream to do an engineering course, then go for it, because God has plans. Okay, God has plans. You may have done that course, and then you get some opportunities. You never know, because God works in a very mysterious way.
So you're talking of God. You know, we might not be believers. So
I know.
I want you to be so practical and tell us the truth, Mr.
Practical. Do you believe that there's Satan? Do you believe there's Satan?
Okay, I'm the interviewer here, so you should be answering my question.
Okay, but I believe if there is a Satan, of course there's God. Let us not switch things around. But the thing is, of course, you have seen people demonstrating. The Gen Z held the mandamano. I also took part in that mandamano. We are demonstrating about the government. And of course, the government did 1, 2, 3, and also took the opposition to government in order to silence the youth. But that's not the case. The engineering also should also demonstrate, so that the government also listen to them. Because why should you employ a China individual and you are leaving a local engineer in Kenya?
Okay, majority of my friends that I know are not so competent when it comes to engineering.
They are not competent.
So, and they are from university. So, don't you think that university education is degrading, producing incompetent students? So the government is now.
Does the government has evidence that these people are incompetent? How do you say someone is incompetent? Has they been given that task to and they fail to accomplish?
Okay.
We can, unless the task is accomplished, you cannot declare this person is incompetent. Okay. So the problem is the government, and let us not lie to ourselves that the university is, devaluing the value of a common engineer. That's a lie. That's a lie, because I've been here, I've been the ground, I see how things are done. I also have some friends of mine who are in the School of Engineering. I also see things that they do. It's not a walk in the park.
So talking of the government,
yes.
Will you have us say that the government of the day has consented efforts to fight corruption, basing on the fact that we had the, I'll call it anti-governance protest, anti-good governance protest? Don't you think the government is now working on whatever the Gen Z protested against?
I think we're having the problem with this government, and I don't think like it listens, because the demand of our Gen Z, they are yet to be accomplished. They are yet to be met. Because we remember one of the demands, even we stated clearly in Catholic, that the president should also stop flying every now and then. As we're speaking, the president is in China. What is he doing in China? The president has...
What is he doing in China? Do you know?
I don't know. I can't tell, because what is he doing in China? He should be serving his people. So the demands of Gen Z are yet to be met, and we can all clearly see that the Gen Z that were murdered, the police, the police are not arrested. We heard that one of the policemen also ran, and he was sponsored by the government to go and stay at Uganda.
So what's next after we have the mandamano, we have the cries? What next? What do you think is going to happen? Will Ruto resign from his office?
Ruto cannot resign because he's a dictator, first of all. He's a dictator, and as a president, he doesn't even listen. Because if you see, according to the Bangladesh youth, what they did, the Prime Minister resigned. But we had this man here, Ruto, he never did so, because he's a dictator. And the people only have one bullet to defeat it, because we cannot use the parliament. The parliament is indefinite.
Okay.
It's incompetent. So, it cannot, impeach him. So the only way, the only blade that we have in 2027, let us vote this man out. That's the only way. Voting him out, which is a few years from now. Let us vote him. That's the only way. Voting him out.
So before we conclude, the other day I hosted Mr. I forgot his name, but no problem. I hosted the president of University of Eldoret, Mr. Elvis Bassing, I do recall. And he gave his insights on the new funding model. So, Mr. Machar, you tell us, what are your insights in the new funding model?
The new funding model is discriminative. Because the tool that is being used now, categorize the comrades, either band 1, band 2, band 3, and band 5.
Yes.
They're not fair. Because I also had a friend of mine, who is also a neighbor, who was even placed in band 5. And the mother is a mere farmer. But he was without even a father. He was placed in band 5. So you can see how this model is working. It's only working for the rich people. Where you have a friend in working that office, you just call the friend, kindly report my son in band 1, but the poor are placed in band 5. So this model remained insecure, irrelevant, and unfair.
So this country is democratic. Why do we think? Why do you think we are crying, yet our cries are not heard?
The country is democracy, yes, but we're having people in power that do not listen to the common man. They only think about their stomach. They don't think about the welfare. They don't think about their families, but not the common man. Because the new funding model was not passed to the people. We have public participation, but no one was involved. Were you involved, Mr. Ian? You were not, I believe so. The comrades of Machakos University were not involved. So this model that someone went, sit down, and implemented. The same problem we're having in CBC. That's why you're seeing a mess, a confusion in CBC. Because you're having someone who is only implementing things without, involving the main stakeholder.
So I have seen strikes and demonstrations in Machakos University. What is happening? Tell us.
The comrades are just demanding for their rights. That's all. If there's a demonstration, this means there is something amiss.
Okay.
They want the government to listen and do away with this demonizing.
So from where I come from, age is a factor when it comes to attaining political seats. And we have also seen, you can also be a witness, that the policymakers and the decision makers, as we speak now, are people with old mentalities. Do you think that's a good perception? And do you think that the youth should be given opportunity for national politics? And do you think that when they are given the opportunities, are they going to be competent? We have seen several young people given opportunities in the political national seats, but they are not doing according to whatever we expect as the young society. What is your perception on that, Mr. Emmanuel?
The thing is, in terms of that, because we're having about 10 million youth in this country. 10 million is not a joke. They can also put you in a government. So the youth should not be ignored, because they are the main, at this time,
so is age a factor?
No, age is just a number. Because you may be having someone who's too old like Ruto. He has done nothing. You cannot tell me that this road has been constructed by President Ruto. This project has been done by President Ruto.
Don't you think when you are given that opportunity, you might be weaker than him? Reason being, the guy is experienced with, as far as politics is concerned.
I might not satisfy myself at that, because I have told you before that I've led in different capacity before, and I'm able to tell you that I've done this and this. What can he say? Because previously we also have some corruption cases against him. Okay. So,
Mr. Emmanuel, we have had a rampant shift by the Gen Z, where they shifted to being politicians all over. All the Gen Zs are now becoming politicians. Do you think they are doing that because they are seeing the politicians are opulent and the officers are money-making? Why do you think there is that rampant shift by the Gen Z? Everyone is speaking.
It's because the Gen Z want to be heard. Because they try to communicate and they were never heard. And they feel that it's time now they get into those office and do what was supposed to be done some century years ago.
Okay, thank you so much for coming to TEKA'S show.
Yes.
Karibu sana tena siku ingine.
Asante kwa
So, before you malize, your parting shot, you can address, sijatumia kamera gani, you can address that camera, this one. Just give us a parting shot as we conclude.
Thank you, Bwana Ian. I want to also thank you for giving this opportunity and also creating time. For the comrades of Machakos University, I'm beseeching you that time to make Machakos work, it's now. And I believe we don't have any other time. There are some comrades that have this mentality that they do not want to involve themselves in politics or rather voting, and they feel like they should not take part because they believe they are not going to be affected. But we have seen that that's not the case, because politics will also affect you in one or the other. People in power will always affect you in terms of political, in terms of social awareness, or rather economical. they will also affect you. So let us take part in the coming election. Let us put people in office that are competent, people that will take care of us in terms of implementing policies that are favoring the comrades, and I believe we will be somewhere. Once again, thank you once again. Please vote for the right people. Shalom.
Okay, thank you so much for coming to TEKA'S show. Once again, viewers, my name is Ian Teka. This is the TEKA'S show. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe because much more is coming. Have a good time. Until next time.